Hi, hello and welcome back to F1 Challenge VB. My name is Mephisto and our epic journey through the history of Formula 1 continues today with the second round of the 1969 season, the Spanish Grand Prix. It was held on the 4th of May, it had 14 entries, all of them took part in the race but 8 ended up retiring. The race consisted of 90 laps completed in 2 hours, 16 minutes and 54 seconds. Rindt started the race from pole but had an accident on lap 19 and had to retire. Eamon started from second on the grid but retired on lap 73 when he blew his engine. Graham Hill started from third but retired after an accident on lap 8. Stewart was fourth on the grid. Brabham started from fifth but retired on lap 51 with a blown engine. And Siffert started the race from sixth but retired on lap 30 due to an oil leak. In the commotion, Stewart managed to snatch the lead and win the Spanish Grand Prix from McLaren, who climbed from 13th into second and crossed the line 2 laps after Stewart. Beltois climbed from 12th into 3rd, he was 3 laps down. Denny Holm started the race from 8th but moved up into 4th, he was 3 laps down as well. Surtees started from 9th but ended the race in 5th, he was 6 laps down. And Jackie Higgs, who started the race from 7th, rounded off the top 6, he was 7 laps adrift. The fastest man of the race was Rindt, who posted a time of 1 minute 28.3 seconds on lap 15. Welcome to the Montjuic circuit, where a lap starts off with a long run into turn 1, a tight 180-degree left-hand hairpin. Next up is turn 2, a medium-speed right-hander that takes us down the hill and into turn 3, a tight 180-degree right-hand hairpin. This is shortly followed by turn 4, a medium-speed left-hander, a quick burst of power, and we arrive into turn 5, a 90-degree left-hander. Next is turn 6, a medium-speed right-hander that leads into turn 7, another 90-degree left-hander. This is followed by turn 8, a medium-speed left-hander, which is immediately followed by turn 9, a medium-speed right-hander. Turn 10 is another medium-speed left-hander. Next is turn 13, a fast right-hander, followed by turn 14, an even faster left-hander that brings us around onto the main straight, and that is a lap around the Montjuic circuit. And here we are in qualifying, just about to leave the pits, and the AI is being a pain. Somehow they managed to crash right at the pit exit. I'm not quite sure how, but they did it anyway. We managed to find our way around the circuit and post a lap of 1:37.227. Not a very fast lap, however, it seems like that gave us pole position, so we are going to call it a day and hopefully things will be good for us. Anyway, here are the previous Spanish Grand Prix winners. Last time we won here was in 1954, a very, very long time ago, so who knows, maybe things will look good for us. And that's an interesting sight. Andy Higgs starting from pole with Jackie Stewart in second, Jackie Higgs third, fourth, Bruce McLaren fifth, Jochen Rindt, and rounding off the top 6 is Graham Hill. Then in 7th we have Denny Holm, followed by Jean-Pierre Beltois in 8th. In 9th we have Pierce Carriage, followed by Joe Siffert in 10th. Then in 11th we have Jack Brabham, followed by Jackie Stewart in 12th, Chris Eamon 13th, John Miles 14th, 15th Pedro Rodriguez, 16th Vic Alfred, 17th Sam Tingle, 18th Silvio Moser, 19th is Gianni Servos Gavet, followed by Joe Bonnier in 20th. Then in 21st we have Peter de Klerk, followed by Jackie Oliver in 22nd, 23rd is Bill Bragg, 24th is John Courts, 25th Basil van Ruyen, 26th Derek Bell, 27th Al Pease, and bringing up the bottom of the driver lineup is John Love down in 28th. So that is the lineup for this race, and this is quite an unusual sight for us. Andy starting from pole. This hasn't happened in a very, very long time. Hopefully things will go well, and we are off. Jackie Stewart pulls in front, but we immediately regain that position, and we are leading the Spanish Grand Prix here in 1969. So hopefully we can, survive the race and maybe win as I go very, very deep into turn 1 there. Brake a little bit late. Actually, in fact, the brakes don't really work on this circuit. I have no idea why, but you have to brake so much more earlier than I had to during the South African Grand Prix. I'm not quite sure why that is, but anyway, here is a replay of the start. A bit of wheel spin on my end, but obviously that didn't affect us all that much. We managed to regain the lead very quickly, and we are doing well as we take a look at a replay of Derek Bell in the McLaren, who crashes into one of the Matras. They're not quite sure who it is, and then drives into the pits and stops his car, and that is pretty much it for his race. Here's a replay of Gavin. It looks like he's kind of sideways, then a car crashes into him, turns him around even more, then Derek Bell crashes into Gavin, and well, that's the end of their race. As we now move on to lap 6. Nothing happened since then. We've been pulling away from Jackie Stewart gradually. We are about 19 seconds ahead of him. As we now take a look at a replay of Joe Siffert coming through this left-hander, crashes into those hay bales, loses both of his front wheels, and he's out of the race obviously. As we now move on to lap 8, we are still pulling away from Jackie Stewart. However, he managed to catch up a little bit, and we have a replay of John Surtees, coming here into turn 1. He stops his car right in the middle of the corner, no idea why, and he's obviously out of the race. And we also have a replay of Silvio Moser, who kind of got caught by Surtees. He goes wide into turn 1, crashes into the Armco, loses his front right, and he's out of the race. And we also have Jack Brabham, who is coming through this left-hander very wide, crashes into those hay bales, just like I forgot who it was before him, but he loses both of his front wheels, and he's out of the race. We are now moving on to lap 9 as we are catching up to the back markers. Jackie Stewart is catching up to us at the moment. He's now just 9 seconds behind us, so we have to kind of step on it. As we take a look at a replay of Chris Amon coming through turn 1 here, goes wide, crashes into the Armco, loses his front right wheel, and he's out of the race. I'm not quite sure why the AI is having so much difficulties going through turn 1 there, but oh well. As we take a look at a replay of Peter de Klerk coming through turn 2, I believe this is. He's very slow. I'm not quite sure why. Not quite sure what's happening. He starts hugging the Armco through this left-hander, and he stops his car, so that is the end of his race. Whatever happened, he's out. We now move on to lap 11, and we once again started to pull a gap on Jackie Stewart. We're about 20 seconds ahead of him right now. As we take a look at a replay of Bill Bragg, who comes into the pits. He's going very fast and crashes into one of the Team Gunston cars. I'm not quite sure why you would want to do that. He blasts both of his front wheels, and he's out of the race obviously. And here's a replay of Pedro Rodriguez, who, as we can see, there's smoke coming out of the rear of his car. He spins a little bit, and that is the end of his race obviously. As we now move on to lap 12, still pulling away from Jackie Stewart. As we take a look at a replay of John Love, who goes wide through this left-hander, once again crashes into the hay bales, loses both of his front wheels, and he's also out of the Spanish Grand Prix. Lap 14 now, and continuing to pull away from Jackie Stewart. As we take a look at a replay of Jackie X, who is coming into the pits. Hopefully he won't do the same as Bill Bragg. No, he pulls to the side, and he's out of the race. Probably he had a gearbox failure, that's what I suppose. As we now move on to lap 15. Well, just started lap 15 and managed to post the fastest lap at the end of lap 14, so that's quite nice. Now moving on to lap 16, still pulling away from Jackie Stewart. We are now 33.5 seconds ahead of him, which is very nice. As we take a look at a replay of John Corns coming into turn 1. He goes around the corner, then his engine blows up, and well, obviously that is the end of his Spanish Grand Prix. Lap 25 now, getting near to the end of the race, and we are about 1 minute ahead of Jackie Stewart. As we take a replay of Pierce Courage coming into turn 1. What's going to happen here? Yeah, he goes wide, crashes into those hay bales, loses his front right wheel, and he's out of the race. As we now jump to the very end of the race, lap 31, coming around to win the Spanish Grand Prix. Haven't won a race in a very long time. I can't even remember when the last race was when Andy won. Anyway, Jackie Stewart finishes second, Bruce McLaren is third, fourth Rindt, fifth Beltois, and sixth is Denny Holm. Congratulations to all of them. They did a fantastic job. Congratulations to Andy obviously as well, because he did a good job as well. And here are the retirements. Quite a few people retired. In fact, only 13 people managed to complete the Spanish Grand Prix, but that's more than in real life, so I guess that is a plus. But then again, there were more people in this race than in real life, so I guess that kind of goes hand in hand. But yeah, that was a very good race. I'm very happy. Although, to be fair, the AI was quite slow overall on the circuit. But then again, it's not much of an excuse because I was very slow. The car doesn't really want to turn on the circuit, and the brakes don't really want to work either, so I had to go slower than I would have wanted to, but it seems that the AI was even slower than that. So yeah, anyway, let's move on. And here are the career statistics. This was Andy's 175th Grand Prix. His best start is from first, has 17 pole positions, has set 30 fastest laps. His best finishes in first, has completed 105 races, 81 of them in the points, has won 45 Grand Prix, 4 at the Indianapolis 500, 6 in Monaco, has 8 championships under his belt, has scored a total of 542 points, has retired 70 times, has experienced 3,628 out of 4,559 laps, has 8 bronze trophies, 17 silver trophies, 45 gold trophies, and as an extension 45 podiums. And here is a quick look at the championship standings. Obviously Andy Higgs moves into the lead, Jackie X drops to second, third is shared between Graham Hill and Jackie Stewart, fifth is shared between John Surtees and Bruce McLaren, the last person with points is Mario Andretti down in 11th, and bringing up the bottom of the driver standings is Johnny Servo's Gavin down in 29th. So those are the drivers. Let's now move on to the constructors. Well, we have Pete Lovely Volkswagen Incorporated moving into the lead of the Constructors' Championship, with Gold Leaf Team Lotus and Brabham Motor Racing Developments sharing second. Fourth are Matra International, and sharing fifth are Bruce McLaren Motor Racing and Owen Racing Organization. The last team with points are Silvio Moser Racing down in 7th, and bringing up the bottom of the constructors are Rec Parnell Racing. So that was the Spanish Grand Prix, a very good result for Andy and for Pete Lovely. So that's quite nice. I'm quite happy. Again, I'm kind of torn a little bit about the result because the AI itself wasn't very quick in this race, but then again I couldn't go too fast either. So I guess it kind of balances itself out. I don't know, I really have no words, but it's very nice to win a race after such a long time. I think it's been like about 2 seasons, maybe 3 since Andy won a race, so that's very nice. But yeah, that is it for the Spanish Grand Prix. Our next race is the Monaco Grand Prix. I'm not sure what to expect there, but well, actually I do know a lot of retirements. That's what Monaco is famous for, at least in this series, so I'm sure we will see a lot of retirements in Monaco. So who knows, maybe that will help Andy score a few more points. Unless he retires, obviously. But yeah, that is the end of this video. Don't forget to vote for next season's team. And don't forget to vote for a name for Andy's son. The links are in the description. And that is pretty much it. There's not much more to say about any of this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, stay sharp.